When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hey guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. Now, before we begin, I need to go over a couple things. First, I don't know how long it's going to be, so if it's a little bit shorter than normal, I do apologize. Now, the main topic, I want to get this out of the way. I know a lot of you are wondering why I don't finish all my series. Instead of focusing on one fanfiction series, I'm working on several, so I don't get burnt down on one story. Look at my my Deku that had Jack Frost as a quirk. That one was it was a little bit rushed. I mean, I could have dragged it out longer, but it was really getting pretty long of series, so that's why I rushed it a little bit. But anyways, let's get down to this story. As we left off, where Brainiac made his appearance. By this time, Superman has already fought Brainiac a few times, so I'll want to get out of the way. Izuku stared at the heroes, then he stared up at the metal skull floating in the sky, dropping some sort of robots. As he pressed the earpiece that's in his ear to contact Lex. This is Izuku. We have a new player arrive on the board. Shall I continue? Head back to LexCorp. We'll deal with the Kryptonian another time. We'll allow the Kryptonian to handle Brainiac. At least for now. Understood, sir. When he broke contact with Lex, he saw a group of Brainiac bots heading towards him and the three heroes. Without wasting any time, he shot out several purple Kai beams out of his fingertips, destroying all 4 of the Brainiac bots as he begins to hover in the air. Well, heroes, you get to survive another day. We'll meet again. Before they could say anything else, he blasted it off towards LexCorp, where Lex Luthor is, as he flies to the balcony and opened the sliding glass door to see Lex in his office, sitting in his desk. I saw your fight with that Kryptonian. Impressive. You managed to fight Superman, All Might, and Wonder Woman at the same time. Indeed, most impressive. We're laying low for a little bit. We'll see how this plays out. Understood, sir. I might not like you, Lex, but I can admit fighting those 3 heroes was kind of fun. So that's what that woman is called, Wonder Woman, huh? She was very persistent in that fight. She's an Amazon. They're all like that. Amazon, you say? Interesting. So what do you want me to do in the meantime? Make sure none of these Brainiac bots get into the building. Very well, sir. As he walked out of the office and made his way to the ground floor. Good, you're all here. The boss wants to make sure give me a second, guys. No bots get into the building. I'll kill majority of them. If someone get past me, I'll eliminate them. Izuku walked past LexCorp security and walked out of the building to stand guard. Izuku finally noticed a group of Brainiac bots heading his direction. He was able to destroy them. I misread that. He was about to destroy them, then 2 girls come flying in with one gray-skinned girl with a black hoodie. Another girl that seems to be some sort of alien with long red hair, black and green energy from her hands and eyes. I think that's all of them, Raven. It looks like it's Star. Watch out behind you. Before the two girls could see or react, a small purple beam shoots past Raven and Starfire, hitting the Brainiac bot in the head, blowing it up. Both girls turned their head towards the beam, or the beam's direction, only to see a boy around their age, just standing there in front of LexCorp's building. As the two girls watched the young man walk right back into the building, leaving them confused. Who was that? He was interesting looking. I have no idea, Star. Come on, let's go. As they both fly off, well, she flew off. Starfire stared at the door of the LexCorp building a couple seconds later. She followed Raven through Metropolis, destroying any Brainiac bots they come across. You two take guard outside. I'm going on my lunch break. Contact me once things change. Understood, sir. When he walked into the break room, he used the break room's phone to call Ivy's place. He knows if his mother is anywhere, she would be over there. Better have a good excuse for calling me, Lex. I have no idea how you know Lex Luthor, but it's me, Izuku. Things are a bit chaotic in Metropolis, so they wouldn't notice me make any phone calls or two. So, how's Mother doing? You were always a clever one. She's alright. How are you? How are you doing? I'm perfectly fine outside of following someone's orders that I totally despise. Selene, it's your son. Selene instantly took the phone from Ivy's hand and put it up to her ear. Are you alright, son? Yeah, I'm fine, Mom. How things are in Gotham? Pretty much normal. These robots that came from that humongous metal skull spaceship hasn't reached Gotham yet. That's good. I can't talk long. I just wanted to make sure you know I was alright. What's the situation on the device that's around your wrist? Harley's been trying to Harley's been trying to get it off me. She's almost figured it out. As soon as you get it off your wrist, I'll head back home. Until then, I'm stuck with Lex following his orders. As much as I don't want to. I just want to blast that man to oblivion. I know, son. I'm sorry. I should have known better to take that sort of job. It's fine, Mom. As long as you are right, that's all that matters. I'll keep in touch. As he hung up the phone, as he went into the refrigerator to take out a thing of black pudding, as he sat down in the break room to eat his little snack. After he was done eating, he made his way out of the break room, relieved the two guards are currently standing outside of the building. Alright, you two head back inside. Anything happened while you were on watch? No, sir. It was completely quiet. You're free to go back inside. As the LexCorp security guard head back inside, leaving Izuku by himself to stand guard, Izuku noticed the door open up from behind him, or heard the door open up from behind him. Here you are. Izuku, I have some orders for you. Sure thing. Let's hear it. You're being awfully compliant today. I know my situation, Lex, so what is it? What do you want me to do? Very well. As much as it pains me to say this, I want you to help with the Justice League to get rid of these invaders off our planet. We'll just have to kill Superman at another time. Understood. Just, please, keep the city intact. I'll do my best. As Izuku flew off to provide some assistance. While flying, he noticed the two familiar girls he saw earlier surrounded by Brainiac bots. Raven, Starfire noticed the Brainiac bots that were. They just finally noticed that the Brainiac bots were surrounding them as all of them at the same time explode. Izuku noticed one of them wasn't completely destroyed. As he brung. Sorry, give me a second, guys. Before the bot could smash Starfire with his fist, Izuku stopped it right before it hit Starfire in the face, blocking the robot with his catching the robot's fist in his hand. With his opposite hand, he shot out several high-cadence ki blasts through his fingertips, piercing right through the robot as Izuku grabbed onto the wrist of the robot, then threw it across the street as it finally explodes. Izuku looked around to see any more Brainiac bots, but he couldn't see any. So he took flight, not saying a word to the two girls as he tried to find more Brainiac bots to destroy. Raven, let's follow. Right, I'm right behind you. Be cautious. We still don't know what side he's on. So paranoid, Raven. He saved us. He saved me twice now. I don't think he's a bad guy. Starfire and Raven stop immediately when they notice Izuku stop moving as he seems to be floating in the air with his hand extended, while his finger extended outwards. Starfire noticed a beam of purple light coming from his fingertips, going right towards several Brainiac bots, ripping right through their metal cover or their armor like butter. As he shoots repeatedly this purple beam out of his fingertips, destroying several units of the Brainiac bots. After firing his version of the Death Beam that Lord Frieza used, that he saw through one of his past memories, he was able to create his own version of it. He took notice all through Brainiac bots in the area they finally, rest of the Brainiac bots finally took notice that to Izuku's presence as they all turned to look up at Izuku. You finally catch on, you stupid bucket of bots. I knew you can hear me, Brainiac. I'm guessing you have your drone somewhat connected. Listen to me well. I'm going to end you. As he extends his hand outwards towards the Brainiac bots as that are below, purple light starts to form over his palm of his hand. It's a round purple energy orb as he shoots it off, as there's a loud explosion, as when Starfire and Raven were able to see again, all they saw was a small crater, not even a piece of scrap escaped Izuku's attack. Wow. Such power. You could say that again, Star. You two girls might want to help one of the other members of the Justice League over there. It looks like he's having a hard time. What are you going to do? Whose side are you even on? I saw you walk into LexCorp. You must have some sort of connection to Lex Luthor. Aren't you a pushy one? I'm only following orders. You might excuse me, ladies. I have an invader to kill. Izuku flew off at top speed towards the humongous metal floating skull and pierced right through the hull of the ship. When he opened his eyes, he noticed he's standing right in front of several of the members of the Justice League: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the number one hero, All Might. We meet again, young warrior. Hello again, Wonder Woman. Superman, All Might. Don't know who you are. As he looks at Batman, But that hardly matters at the moment. I'm here to give you assistance against this invader called Brainiac. Whose order are you under? Lex Luthor, unfortunately. I won't be going into details on that. All you need to know is Lex Luthor sees this Brainiac as a threat. That's greater to you currently. I don't have any further orders to kill you just yet. As the Justice League and EZQ continue through Brainiac's ship, Diana noticed Bruce was being oddly quiet. You're being oddly quiet, Batman. I've seen him before, I just don't know where. I know I've seen him before in Gotham, I just can't remember at the moment. It doesn't really matter at the moment anyways. Let's catch up with Superman in the Brat. Just be careful, I don't trust him. Especially how he just ripped through the hull of Brainiac's mothership like it was nothing. Nice to see you again, young man. As All Might walked up to Izuku while they're walking. You as well. I was surprised how accepting they were for my help. I figured they would be against it because of my age and my current boss. Yeah, I have no idea on that end. But if I do recall, they do have a junior hero team. I believe they call themselves Teen Titans and a other group called the Young Justice. They're a little bit older. I've been wondering, what's your power? Do you have a quirk? No, I was born quirkless. It looks like things are about to get more interesting. As the group stepped through the huge room, or stepped into the huge room, filled with Brainiac bots, without warning, he shot out several ki blasts through his fingertips. Any other key techniques would damage the ship. He wants to meet this Brainiac and then destroy him, then destroy the ship afterwards. We don't have time for this. Small fry. I'm moving on ahead. As the Justice League watch Izuku totally destroy one robot after another, the member of the Justice League alongside All Might can tell the boy's not even tired. As they finally approach Brainiac's location, as everyone sees a huge metal door. Alright, I got you here. I'll leave the heavy lifting to you guys for now. As he points his hand towards the metal door, as he blasts through a hole with his ki, surprising Brainiac. Izuku stepped through the hole he just made. When he finally got into the room, he leaned against the wall. Izuku decided to sit back and watch the Justice League fight Brainiac for a while, so he can gauge how to fight him. Izuku wasn't surprised that it didn't take Brainiac long to attack the Justice League. After a brief dialogue, after he watched the battle closely to see how Brainiac fights, he saw one of his tendrils have some sort of metal blade at the end of it. It's about to impale Wonder Woman with one wave of his finger. A Kai blast cut his tendril off before it could pierce Wonder Woman's chest. Izuku and Wonder Woman nod at each other as she continues her battle. Izuku was surprised that Brainiac is winning against the Justice League. The battle certainly changed when one of his tendrils have some sort of glowing green blade at the end of it. The moment Brainiac revealed that to Superman, Izuku noticed he started to lose strength pretty fast. The last one that was taken out was Batman. He was thrown across the room by one of the tendrils, knocking him unconscious. Wonder Woman was shocked. She was electrocuted until she was unconscious. All Might was already out. Only one's left is Superman, and he's losing the battle pretty fast by now. Before Brainiac could strike the finishing blow to Superman, Izuku appeared out of nowhere, caught his fist, and used his other hand to flick Brainiac on the head. As Brainiac goes flying out of the room, slamming into several. Or sorry, sorry. Let me try this again. Slamming into several rooms of the ship, slamming into several different electronic devices. Rest up, Kryptonian. I'll handle the rest up to here. As he slammed his fist at the back of Superman's head, knocking him out. In his weak state, it was an easy task for him to do. Pause. I couldn't really find a really good one for Brainiac, so I'm just using a character model from Injustice. So, anyways, let's continue. Brainiac hovered towards Izuku after he recovered from being flicked. Who are you, Lifeform? You look human, but I could tell you're something more. All you need to know, Brainiac, is I am the judge, jury, and executioner. Insolent lower life form. Dare threaten me, no matter what type of life form you are. You have the same fate as the Kryptonian. What are you waiting for, you bucket of bolts? Come get me then. As the clash officially began, with one mighty uppercut, Brainiac goes flying out of his own ship. Izuku instantly gave chase. While Izuku is dealing with Brainiac, Batman and Wonder Woman finally regain consciousness as they begin to tamper with the alien ship. Batman found out that the ship is connected to all the other ships that are all around the world. And there's one other ship that's connected to this connected to the system more deep into space. Batman immediately figured out that Brainiac would not and threaten his existence by coming himself. He's only using copies of his body. Izuku appeared right in front of Brainiac as he nailed one of his right hooks, making Brainiac hit the ground hard, making a small crater when he finally landed. All the other scattered members of the Justice League and Teen Titans and Young Justice were watching Izuku battle Brainiac as they both taking hits and landing hits off each other with brutal force. Izuku went flying into several buildings after Brainiac landed a powerful strike. In response, getting smashed into several buildings, he let out several ki blasts at Brainiac as explosions begin to rain, only for him to see Brainiac dodge Izuku ki blast. And the ones that he couldn't dodge, he just swat away with the back of his hand. Very interesting powers. I think I shall not kill you. You be interesting sample to examine. Examine this. Izuku disappeared, then reappeared right behind Brainiac as he threw a vicious kick at the back of the head of Brainiac. As immediately, Brainiac got pushed, pretty much thrown backwards, shot out backwards. Immediately when his kick landed, he saw Brainiac flying through the air. He immediately shot out medium-sized ki blasts repeatedly after Izuku, as Izuku is down to one knee, breathing heavy. When the smoke cleared, Izuku saw Brainiac intact but heavily damaged from his attack. Even if you damage this body, I have spares. Do your worst. Resistance is completely useless. What Brainiac did next surprised Izuku. He saw Brainiac healing himself. Shall we proceed, test subject? I believe it's my turn now. Brainiac, with incredible speed, appeared right in front of Izuku. As Brainiac landed a vicious strike in Izuku's stomach, Brainiac grabbed by his arm and began to slam him against cars repeatedly until they explode. As Brainiac tossed Izuku into a gas truck, the moment he made impact, the gas truck exploded. When the smoke cleared, finally, Brainiac used his telekinesis to throw several cars in Izuku's direction. As one of the cars hit Izuku, as he got knocked backwards further into a couple buildings. When the last car was about to hit him, he kicked the car back at Brainiac. He simply used his telekinesis to toss the car to the side before it could hit him. Fascinating. You have barely taken any damage. Fatigued, but incredible. Izuku, at this point, is furious in anger. He just wants to destroy everything around him. As she accidentally tapped into destruction energy, as there's a very visible purple aura all around him, as he finally acts as Hakai energy. Izuku rushed Brainiac and kneed him in the stomach, then grabbed Brainiac by the shoulder and began to repeatedly sock Brainiac in the face as he grabs firm grip on his arm and rip his arm off his body and begin to beat him with his own arm. As there's a shock away from each strike Izuku landed, as he kicked Brainiac in the chest, as he goes flying in the air, as Izuku appeared right behind him and grabbed him by the back of the head and slammed him into the ground, leaving cracks in the cement. Izuku viciously slammed his foot down, pinning Brainiac to the ground as he extended his hand outwards towards Brainiac's face. Hakai. As everyone watches Brainiac fade away into nothing, Izuku immediately took flight since no one was in Brainiac's mothership, he extended his hand outwards towards the floating metal skull. Hakai. Completely destroying the mothership as he immediately started immediately to take flight and repeat this process to the other Brainiac ships that scattered all around the world, eventually getting down to the last one as he's arrived in Japan. Back at the Hall of Justice, everyone of the Justice League, Teen Titans, and Young Justice are all watching the monitor, seeing Izuku using some sort of power when he says Hakai, totally eradicating anything that comes in contact with his technique. As all the senior members of the Justice League, or founders, are discussing what they're going to do next, Superman wants to assist the young man, but Batman knows that's not really necessary. I understand your feeling on this, Clark. The boy known as Izuku is handling the situation very well. But that doesn't negate how dangerous the boy is. Where did he even come from? The simple fact that Lex Luthor has someone with those abilities under his command makes him even more dangerous. I do realize the young man is dangerous, especially if he's following orders from Lex Luthor. But for my last battle with him, he made it clear that he didn't really want to follow Lex's orders, regardless of how terrifying and powerful that young man is. He's still just a kid. That so kid can totally destroy anything in a microcycle level if he used that power. We just don't know his limits, and that's scary. You need to bring him in once the threat has been neutralized. It's only a matter of time before Brainiac runs out of spare bodies. And I don't think he's going to stop until Brainiac's dead permanently. And I highly doubt any of us can stop him now. I really don't want to either. Brainiac has been causing a lot of problems for us for years. I don't condone killing, but Brainiac is mostly a machine now, so I vote to let him do what he wants. Your thoughts, Diana? I say let the little warrior finish off Brainiac. What about the rest of you? After a long, drawn-out discussion, everyone agreed to allow this to continue until Brainiac is no more. As we cut back to Izuku hovering in the sky, as he knows he can't use Hakai energy for long, he needs to make the next couple times he uses Hakai to count. I really don't know how I tapped into destruction energy, but I'm going to make this the most of it while I still have access to it. To fully kill you, bucket of bolts. As Izuku is floating down in the district, as he begins to walk the streets, once a ruin, was replaced with repaired buildings all over the place. People going about their day. Brainiac bots haven't infiltrated the district just yet. The heroes has been holding the bots back. Before I finish this battle, I want to see my old place. See how it's holding up. As he found his old house, it's still in the same way when he was left. Heavily damaged. As he walked into the door, once he walked into the house, he noticed the house is in worse condition where he left it. Heavily damaged. Izuku knows he can only use Hakai 2 more times, then he'll be completely out of energy and helpless afterwards. So when he finally confronts Brainiac for the last time, he needs to end it before he runs out of energy. And he's fully aware that he's not ready for this technique just yet. Even if things all go as planned, he won't have no idea how to re-access Hakai energy. But regardless, he needs to do what he came here to do, as he needs to pay a visit to his mother's grave. When he finally got to her gravestone, he reminisced of his time during the district. As he stands in front of his birth mother's grave, gently place his fingertips on her grave. Hi, Mom. I'm sorry I haven't visited sooner. I know you don't hold grudges against the Hero Organization for what they did to you and our family, but I don't hold such feelings. I will find who was responsible for killing the rest of our family, then I'll put them down. I'm stuck with the task to kill Brainiac for some sort of sentient robot life form. I just want to take a nap, but I'm still on the clock. This is goodbye for now, Mom. Don't worry, I've been doing well. I know deep down you would get along with my current mother that adopted me. I know you two would get along swimmingly. I guess this is goodbye for now. It's time to go back to work. As he begins to float up in the air, as he begins to fly towards outside the district, deeper into Japan, entering Hosu City, he knows Hosu City is a battleground between heroes and the Brainiac droids. Izuku immediately began to use his Death Beam Kai shots at every Brainiac. Well, let's call it Destruction Beams. As he shoots out Destruction Beams at the Brainiac bots all around Hosu City. At least that's what he came across. Izuku noticed a white bunny woman fighting several of the Brainiac bots. They're slowly outnumbering her. Without any hesitation, he shot out He shot out towards, slamming into the ground, making a small shockwave of force, knocking all the Brainiac box flying away from Mirka. As Mirka noticed the new arrival on the battlefield, as she watches him destroy the kin cans as they as they're back to back now, fighting the bots. I don't know who you are, kid, but thanks for the assist. So I'll ignore that pesky little law about quirk usage. I do appreciate it. Hopefully you can keep up with me, White Bunny. Be asking that question, kid. Let's see who destroys more then, if you're so confident in your abilities, Bunny. You cocky little shit. I like it. You're on. As she has a vicious grin on her face. Miracle kick right through a Brainiac droid. As she spin around to give a spinning kick towards another Brainiac bot. So, what's your name, kid? Name's Mirka. Izuku copied her kick. His kick ripped right through the Brainiac bot. Izuku. Nice kick style. I think I'll implement it in my fighting style. Mirko couldn't help but laugh at the kid's cockiness. Well, if you're going to use my kick in your fighting style, little shit, allow me to show you how it's properly done. As she ripped through one of the Brainiac bots with her heel of her foot after she let out a vicious kick. As Izuku corrected his stance and let out a powerful spin kick of him. A powerful spin kick of his own, destroying all three Brainiac bots when he hit them all at the same time. Perfect, you're a fast learner, brat. So I've been told, Bunny. One cocky little shit. I like you. I might even teach you my special move. You should be able to do it, but we'll worry about that later. We got some bots to smash. As Mirko and Izuku lay waste to Brainiac bots in Hosu City. As much as fun as this is, we need to stop from increasing their numbers. As she points to the big floating skull in the sky, we need to somehow bring that down. Don't worry, Bunny, I'll take care of it. As he immediately took flight towards the floating metal skull that's hovering above Hosu City. Funny, huh? Interesting. You're the only person I'll allow to call me that. Anyone else try to do, I would cave in their stomach with my foot. You're lucky I like you, kid. I was right, the little shit can fly. It's time to get my game face on. As Mirka begins to smash several robots that was heading in her direction. Izuku hovered in the sky in front of the humongous skull ship, well, Brainiac's a copy of his mothership, basically. He immediately extended his hand outwards towards the last Brainiac mothership that's on Earth. Hakai. As the ship begins to erase from existence, everything inside including. Before he could celebrate, he got hit directly across the face by a robotic fist while he goes flying right into the ground, making cracks in the cement as he sees Brainiac hovering over him. Brainiac appeared right in front of Izuku and gave him a vicious kick in the stomach. Slapping his fists together, beginning to hit Izuku into the ground, further digging him into the ground, basically. Each time he gets a hit, he's getting further into the ground, basically what I'm trying to say. Brainiac grabbed Izuku by the hair and begins repeatedly smashing his fist into his face. After he was satisfied, he dropped him to the ground, grabbed onto his arm, and threw him across the street. making him go into several buildings. When Brainiac wanted to continue the fight, Izuku kicked Brainiac back to get some distance away from himself. Well, from Brainiac, basically. Might have slightly underestimated you, lower life form. No matter. I will claim Earth eventually. Time is irrelevant to me. Even if you destroyed this vessel, I would just have to return to my main unit. So what you do here matters not. I will return to claim Earth, to learn everything it can provide. Then I'll capture you. Then I'll do some interesting experiments. You're a very rare specimen. You're even more interesting than Kal-El himself. And that power you wield intrigues me. I wonder, what is Hakai? You want to know what a Hakai is? Fine, I'll show you up close and personal, you bucket of bolts. Izuku and Brainiac rush towards each other, launching several tendrils from his back to try to pierce through Izuku with the blades at the end of them, only for Brainiac to see Izuku dodge and rip the tendrils from his back, then immediately begin to exchange blows with each other once he got close enough. By the end of their encounter, Izuku grabbed onto his wrist and slammed him into the ground several times, then kneeing him in the stomach, making Brainiac slide backwards from the impact. Basically slammed him into the ground, then picked him up and then kneed him in the stomach. I probably should have said that more better, but anyways, that's what I meant. Before Brainiac could react, Izuku rushed towards and create several after images of himself, confusing Brainiac. He's moving so fast that Brainiac can't keep track of him currently because of his sensors being damaged from the blows he's been giving him. While Brainiac was distracted, Izuku is up in the air with his hands outstretched towards Brainiac as he charges up a humongous ki blast above Brainiac. As he launched it towards Brainiac before Brainiac could notice the humongous ki blast heading his direction, Izuku reappeared in front of Brainiac and landed a vicious uppercut, making him flying towards the humongous ki blast as there's a huge explosion, followed by a bright flash of light, blinding everyone for a few seconds. That were in the area. Several heroes have stopped fighting by now, are only watching the fight. Everyone noticed Brainiac is heavily damaged, missing an arm and leg, as sparks starts to spark out of the cracks of his body. Only reason he's up on his feet is because of the tendrils that's keeping his balance. Izuku calmly walked up to Brainiac and stomped it with his foot, pinning him against the ground as he's repeatedly hitting Brainiac in the stomach with his foot. He slammed his foot on his skull, pinning his skull to the ground. Extend his hand outwards towards Brainiac. Don't you dare come back here, Brainiac, or I'll finish you off. Hakai. As Brainiac begins to fade from existence, with the threat currently dealt with, he immediately took flight back to Metropolis before he could lose all of his energy. As Brainiac is returned to his main body out in the vast of space, he knows he's definitely going to come across Brainiac again in the future. For now, he needs to find a place to lay low and recover. That battle took a lot out of him. When he finally got back to Metropolis, he contacted... but he found one of the many safe houses that are all around Metropolis. Then he contacted Lex to brief him up the situation. Good job, kid. That proves that humanity doesn't need no Kryptonian to save the day. I'll contact you in a couple weeks. Then I'll give you further orders. Stood. As he hangs up the phone and crawls into bed and slept for 4 days straight. As you have an unknown location, as you see Vados watching Izuku and her staff. So that is Lord Beerus' reincarnation. Impressive. He definitely will be accepted as one of the candidates to be my god of destruction. But I need to test him more to see what he's made of. Soon, Izuku, me and you will meet. As that's where we're going to cut it. Hope you guys have a good night today. Enjoy my time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.